Hi, Dr. Steele here, and I want to go over what is going to be kind of best practices if you have someone come to you and they are saying that they're suicidal. First of all, I want you to differentiate between what is a suicidal thought and suicidal ideation, as well as when somebody has a suicide plan. And when you think about talking to this person, you want to be really calm and you want to allow them to express their pain, and you want to provide a safe place for them to be able to talk through what they're experiencing. And if you are in interaction with them, you're going to want to have the priority of their safety in the forefront of your conversation with them. You want to allow them to talk about, wow, I feel so hopeless. I feel so much pain, and I just don't want to feel that pain anymore. And I have these thoughts about wanting to kill myself. And so we use the word suicidal ideation to describe when somebody is telling us that they're having suicidal thoughts. Now, to have suicidal thoughts is normal. We all have had them. They usually last for just a moment and then they go away. But for somebody who is suffering from having suicidal thoughts that are lingering, that they're experiencing for long periods of time, it can be something that is very scary for them. So we want to normalize their experience and let them know how sad and scary it is. We want to validate that they are really feeling like this is something that's so hopeless and so painful. And we want to ask them, okay, now that you've told me about the suicidal thoughts, then I'm just curious, do you have a plan? And if they tell us that, yes, I do have a plan, then we want to ask them more about it. For women, typically the plan's going to be they're going to take a whole bunch of pills. For men, the typical way that they're going to kill themselves is actually usually more lethal, things like shooting themselves. And you can imagine that a lot of girls who take a lot of pills are going to survive, but men who are trying to kill themselves by a gun are more than likely going to succeed or have just unbelievable repercussions of a gunshot wound. And so if they say something like, I'm going to take a bunch of pills, then you have to look at, do they have access to that which they're going to use to kill themselves? And if someone tells me, yeah, I got 20 of my mom's antidepressants and I'm going to take all of them, then I have a person who not only has a intent to kill, but the means to kill themselves. And in that case, I have the duty to make sure that they are safe. And so I have to walk them through exactly how I'm going to help to keep them safe. For example, I would say, do you actually have the pills on you, or do you just know where they are in the house? And I'm thinking about somebody in particular who maybe I'm on the phone with. And so I asked them if they would be willing to throw those pills down the toilet. I can hear them putting all the pills in the toilet. I can hear them flush. And then I say, are there any other pills that you have access to? And if they tell me no, and then I say, well, how does it feel now that you no longer have access to those pills? And oftentimes they'll say, I feel better. And then I'll say, who else is in the house that we can let them know that you're not doing so good? So try to get somebody else involved who's going to support them. If there's nobody else that is going to be able to be involved and they're still having suicidal ideation with the means to actually complete that suicide, then you have to go to another route, which is going to be to call a crisis hotline or even call 911 or even take them to an emergency room. So those are the types of things that I think are important for you to just be aware of as you realize that there is a step-by-step methodology to assessing suicide individuals, so that at the very end of that experience, they are in a safe place. You don't have to do it all. You want to involve their family or maybe even others in the church who are supporting them and have a close relationship with them. But you want to go through all of these steps, because at the end of the day, they really do want to live. They just don't want all the pain that they're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. So following that up with a really, really good counselor and support system and a really supportive church is extremely important. So I hope that helps you a little bit as you are considering, or maybe have even had experience with this in the past. It is a very scary experience for the counselor, because we don't want anyone that we care for to end up actually attempting suicide or even completing suicide. So the other thing that I oftentimes will ask when I am assessing somebody is, I will say, have you ever attempted suicide in the past? If they tell me they have, then my radar goes up, because I know that once they've attempted it one time, there's a higher likelihood that they may choose to attempt it again. And so my interaction is going to be really more focused on making sure that they get to a safe place, so that they can make sure that they don't have the means to do something that would be permanent, that's just a response to the immediate pain that they're experiencing. So I hope that helps you, and I know that there's a lot more that is involved, but I wanted to just give you a short clip of something that you can take with you. So have a great day.